The DJI Osmo Pocket 3 has been hyped as one of the best vlogging cameras of the year. With its 1-inch sensor, 2-inch rotatable screen, fast autofocus, and external mic via the DJI Mic 2 in the creator combo. But can it be used as an action camera? Well, that is exactly what I have been testing over the last couple of months. And today we're gonna find out if the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 is the next camera for you. Let's get into it. So I actually purchased the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 with my own hard-earned money. It was not sent to me, but doesn't matter. I always give an honest review. Doesn't matter who sends it to me or if I purchase it. That's what I'm gonna do, be honest. But when I saw the video quality from the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, I was so excited to try it out and see if it would work as an action camera, because that's what I do. I am a trail and ultra runner. As you guys know, I film my runs and my races, put them up on YouTube for you all to see, but using an action camera has always left me wanting more. I was also really intrigued because the video quality was so good that I could see myself lugging this small little camera around, not really lugging, carrying that around when traveling, rather than carrying my big main Sony camera that I'm recording this on right now in this DJI Ronin SC gimbal, which is quite large. So I took a chance and ordered the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 creator combo, and so this review is from my perspective as a trail and ultra runner and a YouTuber who sometimes travels to races. First things first, when you get the Osmo Pocket 3 creator combo, you get this awesome little carrying case, and it's so nice having a case that is, you know, relatively small that I can easily throw in my backpack and everything that I need is in it. So inside of that case is the Osmo Pocket 3, a Type C to C USB cable, the hard protective cover, wrist strap, the handle extender with the 1/4-inch thread for a tripod, wide angle lens, DJI Mic 2 transmitter, the mic dead cat, mic magnet, battery extender handle, and mini tripod. Quite a lot for $669, and in my opinion, I think it's pretty worth it. Like I said in the intro, the Osmo Pocket 3 has a 1-inch CMOS sensor that captures crisp detail in stunning 4K resolution and protects the highlights and shadows really quite well. It also has really great low light performance with the f2 aperture, and this just blows any action camera out of the water in my opinion. The quality is really on a whole different level, and honestly, it's more closely compared to my Sony camera that I'm recording right now on. Even when I ran through this tunnel on normal video mode with 4K resolution, 24 frames per second, the quality was fantastic. There's none of that shake that you get on an action camera from digital stabilization. It looks so good. And I actually was looking at the screen of the camera because it was so dark in the tunnel. It doesn't look like it in the video, but it was so dark that I couldn't really see where I was going. But on the screen, I could see it pretty darn well. The Osmo Pocket 3 has a 2-inch rotatable full-color OLED touchscreen that is very responsive, even when using gloves that have the fingerprints with the touchscreen enabled pieces on it. It works really, really well. To turn the camera on, all you have to do is simply rotate the screen with the flick of your thumb, and the camera is on and ready to record in seconds as soon as that green light illuminates. And then you just push the record button and start recording. It's that simple. A great feature just released with the newest firmware. Now, while recording, if you press and hold that recording button down, you can actually cancel that recording, and that will not take up space on your memory card. It'll delete it. To turn off the camera, it's pretty much the same. You just flip that screen back down to the vertical position, and it gives you 2 seconds. If you want, it'll turn off, or if you touch the screen, you can then record in vertical resolution for, you know, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, whatever it is you're doing. And the resolution will automatically change to 3K, as that is the maximum vertical resolution. However, if you want to go back to horizontal recording for long form content like this, flip that screen back up and it automatically switches back to 4K resolution. And this has been really easy when running. There's a little raised piece on the screen to easily flick. Even if I'm wearing thick mittens, I can flick it with my thumb and get the camera on and get recording very quickly. And this screen is super nice when vlogging in selfie mode. Just triple tap the joystick and the camera rotates to selfie mode. You can easily see yourself on the beautiful screen to see if you're in frame. Now, what's really cool is, again, with the latest firmware, now when you're in selfie mode, so if I'm holding the camera like this here and facing it towards myself with that triple tap, I can now rotate the screen very easily by pushing the button to the right. The camera goes that direction. If I go to the left, the camera goes to the left. Previously, if I wanted to move the camera to the right, I had to move the button to the left, which was really kind of annoying and frustrating. Now with the new firmware, it's not like that, it's much better. And let's say you've been filming something up or down on the ground, just double tap that button and it'll recenter the gimbal right in front of you. Now this has been really nice on the trail. I can easily see the screen while running, even through polarized sunglasses. And that 3-axis gimbal really keeps the camera very stable. The shots are almost buttery smooth. They look really good. I don't have to worry about it. Now I prefer to use the tilt lock mode for the gimbal while I am running. That way I can hold the camera out in front of me because my hand's gonna move around like this. I don't have to worry about that gimbal going up as I move my hand or pointing to the ground. It kind of tilts that and locks that camera forward kind of towards the horizon. Really helps keep my shots in frame well while running. You can also use follow mode, which moves the gimbal with your hand movement. So if I'm going up, the video is gonna go up. So as I'm running and kind of bouncing around, it's really not ideal in an action camera scenario for me personally. There is also FPV mode in the gimbal settings, which really kind of follows the device movements, again, giving you more of an FPV style video. But it can kind of result in a little bit of a jerky movement, which I don't prefer for my videos. There's also 3 different gimbal speeds. So you have slow, default, and fast. I find myself using the fast or the default the most while running. Now, if I'm using the camera to capture some B-roll or footage for a review video, I will generally put it onto the slow setting because that is gonna be the smoothest. As for the autofocus, it works incredibly well, and I really like the auto face detect setting, as when I'm running, I can just triple tap that joystick. The camera's gonna spin around to selfie mode. I can hold it out like this while I'm running and know that it's gonna be focused on my face. However, I also just use the Active Track 6.0, which is very simple. Again, I just double tap the screen this time on the object that I want to focus on, and the Active Track will be enabled. Now, I have used this on faces, myself, on other people. I've even used this on feet. If I wanna get a shot of me running alongside someone, I wanna focus on their feet, it works well. I don't have to worry about focusing on their feet and the camera and making sure that I'm in frame. I can focus on running myself, so I'm not gonna trip, roll an ankle, and I know that the camera is gonna get the shot in frame. If it's picking me up right now, I don't know if it's tracking me anymore. It may have lost me. We'll see. I'm gonna walk over this way and see if it picks me up, and holy cow, the thing is still tracking me. Gosh, that is amazing. Wow. Oh, can't catch me now. Oh, can't track me now. The color profiles of the Osmo Pocket 3 are so good in normal video and in slow motion modes. You can either have the standard mode, which is their normal color profile, DLOG M 10-bit color, or HLG 10-bit color. However, in low light mode, you only have the standard profile available, but that's because the camera is doing some kind of behind the scenes optimization things to give you the best quality available. And that 10-bit DLOG M profile can record up to 1 billion colors, and the ultra high dynamic range loads every shot with rich, crisp detail, whether it's in high contrast scenarios like sunrises, sunsets, or colorful, lush scenes like gardens or a lot of foliage. It really delivers a natural visual experience that looks great and gives you the most flexibility in post-production. So I always shoot my footage in 10-bit DLOG M, and I grade pretty much all of my footage. And I can really crank up those shadows if I need to, and I'm finding that I'm not losing that image quality. I've even cranked them up like almost to 100%, and it's just, the quality looks amazing. Another really awesome feature for color grading is there's actually a LUT from DJI that will convert that 10-bit DLOG M footage to Rec 709, give you a great starting point for color grading. Look below in the description. I'm gonna put a link down there. You can go download the LUT if you want. The Osmo Pocket 3 can record up to 120 frames per second at 4K resolution, and you have that DLOG 10-bit M color profile available, which is perfect for me. You can also go all the way down to 1080p if you want to get 240 frames per second. However, as you can see, the quality is not that great. I mean, it's not bad, but I would just prefer to use the 4K 120 personally. A feature that I really love in the Osmo Pocket 3 is the product showcase mode. It prioritizes the foreground and can focus on a subject very quickly and smoothly, which is really perfect for showcasing a product in a review video or even just my watch. If I want to show my watch screen while running, maybe an elevation profile, percent grade of the hill, whatever it is, with an action camera, it's not really going to be in focus and it's not going to look very good. With the Osmo Pocket 3, however, you get that beautiful depth of field as it focuses on the object in the foreground. My watch, for instance, and the rest of it behind it is kind of blurred. It just looks so good. It's like what you get from this Sony camera. Another great feature for me out running in landscapes and beautiful terrain is the zoom feature. I can tap the little zoom button on the right-hand side and then use the joystick to zoom in or zoom back out. And the quality is really pretty darn good. As for the audio captured from the Osmo Pocket 3, it's really pretty darn good. The 3-mic array, you've got one on the right-hand side, the back, and then on the left-hand side, does a really good job of reducing wind noise, and it can pick up omnidirectional stereo sound. Well, I'm up over 9,000 feet now. Definitely cooler up here, more snow,
off of these car tracks.
I have noticed when vlogging in selfie mode, so holding it with the actual camera facing me, that the audio seems to be a bit quieter than if I was recording something in front of me. And I think this is due to the internal processing and it choosing which microphones of those three to kind of amplify and really use to pick up that sound.
6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 four-wheel drive vehicles out today.
The Osmo Pocket 3 also comes with the DJI Mic 2 here, which pairs seamlessly. All you have to do is turn it on, connect it to the camera, and it just will pair instantly every time you turn it back on. And it can actually pair with 2 of the Mic 2 transmitters. So I could have one, a friend or somebody else in a video, I could give one to them, we could have a conversation, it would record it right into the camera. A really cool feature when using the Mic 2 is there's actually an audio level indicator on the screen. If you look, you can see there's a green bar across the top. That is the indicator for the levels there, and those levels can be adjusted by swiping from the right-hand side of the touchscreen. There is also a noise reduction mode that you can enable when using the DJI Mic 2, which essentially applies what I would say is a noise gate to the recording. You can see when I switch that on that the audio level indicator bar pretty much goes down to nothing, whereas when it's off, you can see it's picking up some noises, and you can hear it in these samples here. Audio seems to be working a-okay. We'll see if it's picking me up right now. I don't know if it's tracking. Noise reduction feature, it is turned on, it is enabled. See if the wind picks up, how it gets me on the microphone. If you can hear that car in the background, not sure if it's picking up or not. There's a car coming down the road. The mic itself has a little clip you can easily clip onto clothing, or if you want it to be a little bit lower on your shirt, there is a magnet. You can just put that on your clothing inside and attach it anywhere. It's really pretty simple to do. Now, to be honest, I rarely use the DJI Mic 2 as I'm often using the camera while running. And I don't generally want to carry that with me. It's something else I could potentially lose if it falls. So I just use the 3 mics that are embedded into the actual camera itself, and it works pretty well. Now, the Osmo Pocket 3 has a 1300 milliamp battery, and DJI claims it can record up to 116 minutes at 4K 60 frames per second with the screen off. Now, I pretty much always record in 4K 24 frames per second with the screen on, of course, and I have never once had it die on me. It's lasted a very long time for me. It's worked really well. Even in extremely cold temperatures, the battery has done a really good job. I went for a run in real temperature, was actually 2 degrees Fahrenheit, but with the wind chill, it was negative 15 degrees. The hard case for the camera actually started to ice over around the edges, probably because I was sweating. But the battery was just fine. I could flip on the camera, instantly start recording. There was no delay. There wasn't any kind of odd issues that you sometimes see on action cameras. It worked really well, and I was honestly a little surprised. Now, the battery can be charged to 80% in 16 minutes or 100% in 32 minutes when using the DJI 65-watt charger, which is sold separately, I might add. Now, I did purchase the DJI 30-watt charger, which still enables fast charging for the Osmo Pocket 3, and it does charge very fast. I can attest to that. Another really great feature as a solo creator is the DJI MIMO app. I can connect to the camera and control it from a distance, so I can put the camera like on a tripod, on the ground, or just anywhere out of my hand and still control the camera. I have full functionality. I can change all the settings on the app. It's just so easy as a solo content creator to use that. It's like having an assistant, basically. Now, I'm sure I am missing a few things. There are a lot of features on the camera, like photo mode. I can take photos with it, and they're pretty darn good. However, if I want to take a photo, I'm probably just going to use my iPhone. You can also live stream from it, which is really a cool feature. I've not tried it, but it's supposed to work pretty well. So when thinking about my cons or negatives for the Osmo Pocket 3, I could really only think of 2. The first being that it is not waterproof. There is no protective cover for the charging ports or the micro SD card, and I'm pretty sure water would be bad for the gimbal as well. That being said, I have used the Osmo Pocket 3 in a very light rain, and I've even had sweat drip right onto it with no issues. For me, living in Colorado, it's very dry. It does not rain very much. And so for me, it's really not that much of an issue. However, if I were to use this camera back when I lived in Tennessee, I could see that being a huge issue. it rained a ton. Wintertime, it pretty much rains all year in the spring, or it was incredibly humid and I couldn't even go on a run that was 3 miles long without being completely drenched in sweat. That could be a big issue for this camera. And this is obviously where an action camera does beat the Osmo Pocket 3 they are generally waterproof. The only other negative that I could think of for the Osmo Pocket 3 was the possible durability when using it as an action camera. This camera is designed to be used pretty much like this. I'm walking around, I'm vlogging, maybe getting some cool shots of some scenery, and then I'm gonna close it, put it back in my pocket, my purse, and just walk on. Me, however, I'm running through the mountains, sometimes on pretty technical trails. The chances of me dropping the camera are quite high. So far, luckily, I have not dropped it, but I do wonder how it would hold up if I did. The 3-axis gimbal and the actual camera does stow away nicely and protected inside of this case. It's not exposed or sticking out, so it's pretty well protected. But if I were filming, holding it out like this, running, smack it on a rock, smack it on a tree, drop it, I don't think it would fare near as well as an action camera. But to alleviate those concerns, I purchased the DJI Care Refresh from DJI, their 2-year plan for $55. This enables me to replace the camera 4 times in those 2 years. So twice a year, I don't know, whatever, but 4 times total. So if I break it, I'll just get a new one. But those honestly are the only cons that I could think of, and I spent some time trying to think of them. The camera carries really well. It stows in this hard protective case very easily. I can then put it into the front pocket of my Salomon Advanced Skin 12 vest while running, or I can put it in the back of my Path Project shorts. It fits in there just fine, or even in the side of my tights that has a pocket in the leg. As for the weight, the Osmo Pocket 3 weighed in at 180 grams, which I should note is the exact same weight as the Insta360 Ace Pro. But when you add this protective case, which also has that wide angle lens inside, the weight of the Osmo Pocket 3 goes up to 242 grams, which I should note is way lighter than the Insta360 Ace Pro with the selfie stick, which weighed in at 340 grams in total. Overall, I am incredibly happy that I purchased the Osmo Pocket 3 to use as an action camera and a travel camera. Now, I have not traveled with it yet on an airplane, but as soon as I have a race where I will be traveling, I will 100% be taking this camera. I am incredibly happy with the video quality, the sound quality, the depth of field, everything about it. It's just awesome. And so I can highly recommend the DJI Osmo Pocket 3, whether you're gonna use it as a vlogging camera or like me as an action camera. I really do believe that this is going to be the best vlogging camera of 2024. And for me, in my use case, it works really well as an action camera. Now, I am genuinely curious, has anyone else out there used the Osmo Pocket 3 as an action camera? If you have, let me know below in the comments. I would be really curious to see your thoughts, durability, how it's held up. Let us know. Now, one of the newest action cameras to hit the scene was the Insta360 Ace Pro. You can see my full review. Just click on the video on your screen to see what that action camera can do. Thank you all again for watching. I really do appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next one.